Hi, fourth graders. Today is Wednesday, day 3 of our vocabulary week. And as per usual, I have another word for you today. It's a wow word. And that's a word we're going to study and look at together and find out about the different parts. Okay? So, our wow word for today, you may have guessed by looking at the picture, is thermometer. And we are going to look at the different parts of this word thermometer and see if we can learn something about those different parts. So thermometer is actually made up of the root word meter. So that's kind of meter is the main part of the word. But there is a prefix, and pre means before. So there's actually a bit that's been put on the front, thermo, to tell you what the meter is for. Because meter means measure, and thermo means heat. And so really what it's telling you is we have a measuring instrument. That's what meter means. And the thermo bit means heat. So this is something that measures heat or temperature. Okay, it's going to measure your temperature. So you may, when you get sick, get tested with a thermometer to see what your body temperature is. You may have a thermometer you use in the kitchen to see how what the temperature of the meat cooking is or what the candy cooking is. You might have a thermostat in your house that tells you what temperature your house is. So we have different ways that we measure heat or temperature. So thermo means heat and meter means measure. So let's have a look at those things. So thermo means heat, and we have some other words that use that thermo prefix, like thermostat, the dial or the reading on your that you might have on your house that tells you how hot the temperature is in the room. Thermal, you use when you go skiing or when it's really cold, you might wear thermal underwear, and that's really the long underlayer clothes to remind you that you want to keep warm, right, when it's really, really cold. Or a thermos, which is an insulated container that you might bring some lunch in to school, or your parents might take you their lunch to work in a thermos maybe. And it's a way of keeping heat inside, okay? So that whenever you see thermo, think heat, because that's what thermo means. Now let's think about the meter part of thermometer. And that means to measure. And when I think about some different words that have that word meter in them, I can actually think of quite a few. And one of them is kilometer, because I grew up in a different country where we use the metric system to measure things. And so we measure things in meters, and a kilometer is a certain amount of distance. I think there's like 2 point something kilometers in a mile, or 1 point something. Now I'm getting confused. But a kilometer is a measure of distance. Okay, so and then a speedometer is a measure of speed. So most cars have a speedometer. And they also have an odometer, which tells how many miles you've traveled. So there's different things that they're measuring. And whenever you've got that meter there, it's telling you measure. Okay. And in math and geometry, we look at perimeter. And we are measuring around the outside of a shape. So whenever you see meter, think measure. And whenever you see heat, think thermo, think heat. So in your vocabulary journal, and right in the middle, you have your wow word section. And you've already filled out the first 2 pages with the other words that we've had. So I want you to flip over and find the next graphic organizer ready for you to use for today. And we are not going to fill in this first column because there is only one root part in this word, the meter part, but we do have a prefix that goes on the front. And this column over here is for the prefix or the suffix. So the bit on the front or the bit on the end. But this word just has the prefix at the start. So our root word, so our prefix is thermo, and our root word is meter for thermometer. The meaning of our prefix is heat. The meaning of the root word is measure. So we're measuring heat. Other words with the same prefix, thermo, would be thermos and thermostat. And other words with the same root might be kilometer, perimeter, speedometer. Okay, so I would like you to fill out your wow word page, please. Okay, and then you check your Canvas assignment for any other things that you have to do to show me that you have learned some things about your wow word today.